How do we get these clothes? Though various processes are involved in making these clothes, the main steps can be summarized as follows. Raw cotton is produced in the cotton farms. It is processed in cotton spinning industry. Weaving is done in another industry. Then stitching is done in another industry and gives us the final usable product. Hence, production of goods in large quantities after processing from raw materials to more valuable products is called manufacturing. What brought such changes in agriculture? Industrial development brought tremendous changes to agriculture. Agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. Development and competitiveness of manufacturing industry has not only assisted agriculturists in increasing their production, but also made the production process very efficient. What helped in modernizing agriculture? Manufacturing industries helps in modernizing agriculture and creates job opportunity in secondary and tertiary sector. It also helps in eradication of poverty and brings down regional disparities by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. Export of manufactured goods expands trade and commerce and brings in much needed foreign exchange. India's prosperity lies in increasing and diversifying its manufacturing industries, as manufacturing industries produce goods with higher value. In the pre-independence period, most manufacturing units were located in some cities such as Calcutta, Bombay, Madras. What made the manufacturing units to locate in these cities? Proximity to seas made these areas easily accessible to the outside world that made overseas trade possible. What assets do we need to establish the sugar industry in a particular area? Availability of raw material, labor, capital, power, and market and government policies are some of the factors that would determine the location of a particular industry. Manufacturing activity tends to locate at the most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial location are either available or can be arranged at lower cost. Is it possible to get all the aspects of industrial location at the same place? No. Hence, the key to decision for the location of the factory is determined by lowest cost of production, government policies, and specialized labor. Least cost of raw material, production, distribution of production and government decision to locate the site determine the location of an industry. Can you distinguish the physical and human factors that affect location of a factory? Availability of raw material, power and suitable climate are the physical factors affecting location of a factory. Availability of labor, market, capital and government policies are the human factors affecting location of a factory. An industry and a market are always interlinked. Industrial inputs such as raw material and factors of production are transported to the factory. As the factory starts producing, products or output are transported to the market. This process generates money and some part of it goes back again as industrial inputs to the industry. Industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. Industries are located in either near the cities or urbanization follows after an industrial activity starts. What do you think a city can provide for industrial growth? Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants and financial advice, etc. to the industry. Many industries tend to come together to make use of the advantages offered by the urban centers known as agglomeration economies. What type of industries must have manufactured these goods? Are they same? Various industries manufacture various products. Industries can be classified on the basis of some particular criterion, on the basis of source of raw materials used, according to their main role, on the basis of capital investment, on the basis of ownership, based on the bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods. On the basis of source of raw materials used, industries are divided into agro-based and mineral-based industries. Some of the examples of agro-based industries are cotton, woolen, jute, silk, textile, rubber, sugar, tea, coffee, edible oil, etc. Iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine tools, petrochemicals are some of the mineral-based industries. Based on the main role the industry play, industries are classified as basic or key industries and consumer industries. Iron and steel and copper smelting, aluminium smelting are some of the basic industries that provide raw material to the other industries. Industries that produce goods for direct use by consumers such as sugar, toothpaste, paper, sieving machines, fans, etc. are consumer industries. On the basis of capital investment, industries are classified as small-scale and large-scale industries. At present, the maximum investment allowed is Rs 1 crore for small-scale industries, and the industries that invest more than 1 crore are known as large-scale industries. On the basis of ownership, industries are classified as public sector, private sector, joint sector, and cooperative sector industries. BHEL, SAIL, etc. are operated by government. Tisco Bajaj Auto Limited, etc. are examples of private sector industry. Oil India Limited is a joint venture by public and private. Sugar industry in Maharashtra is an example of cooperative operated industry. Based on the bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods, industries are classified as heavy and light industry. Industries such as iron and steel are examples of heavy industry, and industries that use light raw materials and produce light goods such as electrical industries are called as light industries. What are these materials made up of? These cotton clothes are made up of cotton fiber. The oil in the can is made up of sunflower. The sugar in the packets is made up of sugar canes. Do you see any similarity in all these products? These are some of the materials manufactured from agricultural products. Cotton, jute, silk, woolen textile, sugar, edible oil, tea, coffee, etc. are manufactured in industries based on agricultural raw materials. Industries that are based on agricultural raw materials are known as agro-based industries. Which one of these do you think is the costliest one? 1 kg fiber is sold for Rs 60. 1 kg processed yarn is sold for Rs 100 per kg. But a silk sari fetches about Rs 1000 per kg. Textile industry is the only industry in the country which is self-reliant and complete in the value chain, that is, from raw material to the highest value-added products. Let us look at how value is added at every step of its manufacturing. Raw cotton fiber is produced in cotton farms. Raw fiber goes to spinning industry that produces cotton yarn. Weaving and knitting industries use the yarn and produce fabric. Dyeing and finishing and manufacturing of garments give the final output. Textile industry in India contributes 14% of the total industrial production of the country. It employs 35 million people directly, which is second largest after agriculture. This industry earns 24.6% of foreign exchange and contributes 4% towards gross domestic products. Can you identify the area on the map? What is it known for? This is the black soil area, which is also known as black cotton soil. The cotton textile industry was concentrated in the cotton growing belt of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Spinning is centralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, but weaving is highly decentralized all over India to provide scope for traditional work. India has world-class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabric as it cannot use much of the high quality yarn produced in the country. Availability of raw cotton, market, transport including accessible port facilities, labor, moist climate, etc. contribute towards its localization. Earlier, cotton textiles were produced with hand spinning and handloom weaving techniques. After the 18th century, power looms came into use. The first successful textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. There are nearly 1,600 cotton and human-made fiber textile mills in the country. Weaving is done by handloom, power loom and in mills. About 80% of these are in the private sector and the rest in the public and cooperative sectors. Apart from these, there are several thousand small factories with 4 to 10 looms. India exports yarn to Japan, USA, UK, Russia, France, East European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka and African countries. India has a large share in the world trade of cotton yarn, accounting for 1/4 of the total trade. But the country's trade in garments is only 4% of the world's total. What are the reasons for such differences? Our spinning mills are competitive at the global level and capable of using all the fibers we produce. The weaving, knitting and processing units cannot use much of the high-quality yarn that is produced in the country. Power supply is erratic and machinery needs to be upgraded in the weaving and processing sectors in particular. India has the second largest installed capacity of spindles in the world, next to China at around 34 million. What are these goods made up of? These are made up of jute, that is also known as golden fiber. Jute is produced extensively in a narrow belt near to Hooghly River in West Bengal. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1859 at Rishra. After partition in 1947, the jute mills remained in India, but 3/4 of the jute producing area went to Bangladesh. Let us know factors responsible for localization of jute in the Hooghly Basin. Proximity of the jute producing areas. Inexpensive water transport supported by a good network of railways, roadways and waterways to facilitate movement of raw material to the mills. Abundant water for processing raw jute. Cheap labor from West Bengal and adjoining states of Bihar, Orissa and Uttar Pradesh. Kolkata as a large urban center provides banking, insurance and port facilities for export of jute goods. India is the largest producer of raw jute and jute goods and stands at second place as an exporter after Bangladesh. There are about 70 jute mills in India. The jute industry supports 2.61 lakh workers directly and another 40 lakhs small and marginal farmers. The main markets are USA, Canada, Russia, United Arab Republic, UK and Australia. In 2005, National Jute Policy was formulated with the objective of increasing productivity, improving quality, ensuring good prices to the jute farmers and enhancing the yield per hectare. The growing global concern for environment-friendly, biodegradable materials has once again opened the opportunity for jute products. Where should the sugar mills be ideally located? Most of the sugar mills are located near to the sugar producing area due to the bulky raw materials. There are over 460 sugar mills in the country spread over Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat along with Punjab, Haryana and Madhya Pradesh. 60% mills are in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Do you know that Uttar Pradesh is known as Sugar Ball of India? Recently, there is a tendency for the mills to shift and concentrate in the southern and western states, especially in Maharashtra. The main reason behind this shift are: the cane produced here has a higher sucrose content. The cooler climate also ensures a longer crushing season. India stands second as a world producer of sugar but occupies the first place in the production of gur and khansari. Can you find out some of the challenges faced by sugar industry in our country? The seasonal nature of the industry, use of inefficient methods of production, transport delay in reaching cane to factories, production of huge amount of baggage are some of the challenges faced by sugar industry in India. As the sugar industry is seasonal in nature, it is ideally suited to the cooperative sector. Is a girl wearing a mask? She is wearing the mask to escape from polluted air caused by the industry in her neighborhood. Although industries contribute towards development of a nation, they also cause significant degradation to the environment. The increase in pollution of land, water, air, noise due to industries and resulting degradation of environment cannot be overlooked. Industries mainly cause 4 types of pollution: air, water, land, and soil pollution. Do you know the reason for increased chronic respiratory diseases? Increasing undesirable substances in the air we breathe resulted into increase in such diseases. Air pollution is caused by the presence of high proportion of undesirable gases such as carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and carbon monoxide. Airborne particulate materials contain both solid and liquid particles like dust, sprays, mist, and smoke. Smoke is emitted by chemical and paper factories, brick kilns, refineries and smelting, plants and burning of fossil fuels in big and small factories that ignore pollution norms. Do you know about the worst disaster occurred in Bhopal in 1984? Toxic methyl isocyanate gas released from Union Carbide India Limited's UCIL pesticide plant in Bhopal killed about 15,000 people and injuring at least 5 lakh others. Millions were left sick and the affected passed on the harmful effects of the gas to the next generations. Toxic gas leaks can be very hazardous with long-term effects. Air pollution adversely affects human health, animals, plants, buildings, and the atmosphere as a whole. What do you observe in the picture? Water pollution is caused by organic and inorganic industrial waste and effluent discharged into rivers. Some of the industries that pollutes water are paper and pulp industries, chemical industries, textile industries and dyeing, petroleum refineries, tanneries and electroplating industries. Fly ash, phosphogypsum and iron and steel slags are the major solid wastes that pollute water. Sometimes, hot water from factories and thermal plants is drained into rivers and ponds before cooling. This is known as thermal pollution. Can you recall the effect of thermal pollution on aquatic life? A sudden changes in temperature would be dangerous and affect breeding process of aquatic life. For example, the eggs and larvae of animals in water are susceptible to temperature change. Water pollution is one of the greatest problems which can easily cause harmful effect to the entire ecosystem. How did these crops get affected? Dumping of wastes, especially glass, harmful chemicals, industrial effluent,